The Nobel Peace Center has just publicly and strongly rebuked Donald Trump after Donald Trump has officially stolen the Nobel Peace Prize away from Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader of Venezuela. He basically exerted pressure over her to take the Peace Prize for himself, and then he threw her under the bus today and still said through his chief propagandist, Caroline Leavitt, that the people of Venezuela should not and do not respect Maria Corina Machado, the main opposition and pro-democracy leader who has kissed the gangster ring, who was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Let me read for you the statement by the Nobel Peace Prize Committee. They just put out the following statement. The Nobel Peace Prize medal, it measures 6.6 centimeters in diameter, it weighs 196 grams, and it's struck in gold. On its face, a portrait of Alfred Nobel. On its reverse, 3 naked men holding around each other's shoulders as a sign of brotherhood, a design unchanged for 120 years. Did you know that some Nobel Peace Prize medals have been passed on after the award was given? A well-known case is Dmitry Muratov's medal, which was auctioned for over $100 million to support refugees from the war in Ukraine. And the medal displayed at the Nobel Peace Center is actually on loan and originally belonged to Christian Louis Lang, Norway's first Peace Prize laureate. But the truth remains. As the Norwegian Nobel Committee states, once a Nobel Prize is announced, it cannot be revoked, shared, or transferred to others. The decision is final and stands for all time. A medal can change owners, but the title of the Nobel Peace Prize laureate cannot. In other words, Donald, that medal, you may actually display it, you may take the physical object, but you are not the winner. And your behavior is absolutely despicable and embarrassing. You see Donald Trump here with Maria Corina Machado, and he takes the Nobel Prize in this golden bordello piece of filth that the Oval Office has become. If you look at it right here, it says, "To Donald Trump, in gratitude for your extraordinary leadership." And then it's the 2025 Nobel Peace Prize medal awarded to Maria Corina Machado. Like, why would you even want that in your office? It doesn't belong to you. Now, contrast that with former President Obama. Here's the medal that he received. Someone who actually won a Nobel Peace Prize. And it's intentional as well that the Nobel Prize Committee continues to emphasize the Martin Luther King Jr. Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent campaign against racism today. Here's what the Nobel Prize Committee writes, especially as we head into MLK Day. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together in peace. Remembering Martin Luther King Jr., an extraordinary man who was awarded the 1964 Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent campaign against racism. He also fought to secure economic justice for people living in poverty. Watch his Nobel Peace Prize speech. In contrast, of course, to Donald Trump's racist, despicable, and authoritarian behavior. So Maria Corina Machado was at the White House today, and she talks about how she was asked by the press, did you give him the Nobel Prize? Did you hand it over? And she goes, I presented it to him. I gave him the prize. Just watch how pathetic this is. Here, play this clip.
Did you offer to President Trump your Nobel Peace Prize?
I presented the President of the United States the medal, the Nobel Peace Prize, and I told him this. Listen to this. 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simon Bolivar.
Now, in return for doing that, there was a parallel press conference taking place at the White House where Donald Trump's chief propagandist, Caroline Leavitt, said Donald Trump's opinion has not changed about Maria Corina Machado. She lacks the respect and support of our country. That's what the White House is saying. And it should be noted because right now I've lost a great deal of respect for Maria Corina Machado for how she's acting right now. And I know you could say, well, Ben, she has to do that for her country. What else is she going to do? I'm somewhat sympathetic to that. I'm not trying to be just totally dismissive of it. But the thing is, she looks weaker than ever, and this is only helping Delcy Rodriguez, the authoritarian right now, who Donald Trump really loves. And Donald Trump wants Delcy Rodriguez and Diosdado Cabello and the Maduro regime, just people who are more his puppets than Maduro is. And one of the things that Donald Trump did immediately was he made a deal with Qatar to give the oil money from Venezuela that he's taking not to the United States Treasury, but to a Qatar bank account that is shrouded in secrecy, which who knows? Is he going to take the money from this Qatari bank? Why wouldn't it go to the United States Department of Treasury? Why wouldn't it go to pay down our debt here? Why is it going to Qatar? The people who give Donald Trump his family money, the people who do business with Donald Trump, who give him a 747 jet. Anyway, here's what Caroline Levitt said. Let me play this clip.
Is it still the president's assessment that it would be very hard for Ms. Machado to leave Venezuela because he says she lacks the respect and support in that country? And will he raise that with her too?
I think the president's assessment that you just pointed out was based on realities on the ground. It was a realistic assessment based on what the president was reading and hearing from his advisors and national security team. And at this moment in time, his opinion on that matter has not changed.
Now, on the same day that Donald Trump is stealing the Nobel Peace Prize, Caroline Levitt, in that same press conference earlier, is asked, what do you make about the fact that Europe is sending a lot of their special forces, whether it's from Germany or France or Denmark or Sweden, Canada, not Europe, but Canada, sending special forces into Greenland? Is that going to change the United States posture about invasion? She's like, that won't change our posture about invasion. So Donald Trump making the world a far less stable place. And this is the response. Here, play this clip.
Well, to your first question on Greenland, I don't think troops in Europe impact the president's decision-making process, nor does it impact his goal of the acquisition of Greenland at all. To your second question, I mean, anyone in their right mind with common sense who's speaking honestly and candidly will say that men cannot get pregnant. And I think I can attest to that myself. So thank you all very much.
I think it's also notable on the same day while Donald Trump was stealing the Nobel Peace Prize, you had a federal judge, Judge Bill Young, who was a Reagan appointee, during a hearing earlier today about the detention of pro-Palestinian students. Let me explain to you what Judge Young had to say. There was no policy here about arresting, deporting, and disappearing Palestinian activists. What happened here is an unconstitutional conspiracy to pick off certain people to twist the laws. Two cabinet secretaries conspired. They intentionally, knowing what they were doing, counseled by professionals who cautioned them, nevertheless went ahead to pick off these people with the intention that your clients would be chilled, and did so rather effectively, by the way. The problem in this case is that the cabinet secretaries, and ostensibly the president of the United States, is not honoring the First Amendment. These cabinet secretaries have failed their duty to uphold the Constitution. I listened to professional, patriotic employees of our United States government trying hard to do the job that they were trained and skilled in doing. I'm trying very hard not to make their job harder, but let's talk truth here. The truth is, look at the intelligence portion of the Department of Homeland Security. If you ever want chapter and verse about how the government can be weaponized against a disfavored group, that's the record of it. These professionals were taken off anti-terrorist investigations. They were taken off human trafficking investigations, all to look up what dirt they could find on this group. The very highest levels of the DHS decided that's the best use of its people. And I bring that up now because this is what the Trump regime's doing, declaring war on its people. And here's what Donald Trump said about Delcy, the authoritarian leader who he's propping up. This morning, I had a very good call with the interim president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez. We are making tremendous progress as we help Venezuela stabilize and recover. Many topics were discussed, including oil, minerals, trade, and of course, national security. This partnership between the United States of America and Venezuela will be a spectacular one for all. Venezuela will soon be great and prosperous again, perhaps more so than ever before. propping up the authoritarian. Well, Pablo Manriquez, who's at the MeidasTouch network, he's on Capitol Hill, and he was there in the Machado press conference. He spoke with one of the pro-democracy Venezuelan ladies that were there, and he asked her about Delcy Rodriguez, the authoritarian. Here's what she had to say. Let's play this clip right here.
Can you tell me your name real quick?
Yes, my name is Fabiana Bendaño.
And what just happened? Who did you just see?
We just saw our future leader, the future leader of Venezuela, currently the vice president of our country. She was democratically elected in 2024 by the masses in Venezuela. Her power and Mundo González's power got taken away by a narco dictator who usurped power, and she's finally here on behalf of millions of Venezuelans fighting for our freedom.
And what do you think of the woman Delcy Rodriguez who Trump put in power?
I think Delcy Rodriguez is part of the same dictatorship. She's part of the same dictatorship. They're the same people are responsible for the misery of millions. That as a result of that government, 8 million of us were forced to flee. None of us wanted to go, and I bet a lot of us will go back once the dictatorship falls.
So what would you like to see happen? The dictatorship fall, that you would return to Venezuela then?
I would love to see the dictatorship fall. I want to see free and fair elections. I want embassies of Venezuela to open all over the world. A lot of us got left out of the democratic process because our dictatorship did not allow people abroad to vote. I want everybody to be able to exert their right to vote, and I want us to elect someone that truly is for the benefit of our people, that pushes democracy and freedom.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Well, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think there. Hit subscribe. Nobel Peace Prize stolen by Donald Trump. How pathetic.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.